Hello, this is Keith All, and in today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to create this grungy retro pattern text effect. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, we're going to create basically this inside pattern that falls within the text outlines. We're going to first do that, and then I'm going to come back and create a new document, and we're going to go ahead and create the text, the stroke, the inner shadow, and all that, and then we're going to use a pattern overlay that we create. And then, of course, we'll do the background. So let's see how we could do this. So I got a new document open, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make a layer, a new layer, or Control J on a PC, and then we're gonna convert it to a smart object. Okay, now once we have that, we're gonna make sure that our background and our foreground colors are black and white. So if they're not already, you could hit D as in David or D as in default on your PC, and that will change your foreground and your background to black and white. Okay, now what we need to do from here is now let's go over to Filter, Render, and then Clouds. So from here, now we're going to do the Filter Gallery. See, that's up here. And then we're going to do Texture. We're going to come over here to the right and click on the folder. Let's see, that down here, Texture. And then we're going to select Grain. And then we're going to change these items here. But first of all, I want to delete these ones that I've done before so I could recreate it so you could see what's going on. So basically, I just select it and drag it down to this delete icon down here. Give me a second. Okay, we're going to start from new. So we got this here ready. So now what I want to do is I want to change the intensity and contrast. First of all, the intensity, we're going to keep it 60. Contrast is 0. And the grain type is sprinkles. Okay, from here, we want to create a new, basically a filter, a new effect layer. So there's an icon down here that says new effect layer. We're going to select that, and then we're going to choose Sketch up here. Let's choose this sketch folder, and then we're going to select the graphic pen option. Let's see, where is it? Graphic pen. And then from there, we're going to change the stroke length is 15. The light darkness is set at 50. And the stroke direction is at right diagonal. And now we're going to add another effect layer. And this time we're going to choose, come over here, Sketch, and then Halftone Pattern. We're going to create a new effect, and then we're going to select, let's see, where is it? Halftone Pattern. And then from there, we're going to select the size to be 2, the contrast to be 6, and it's going to be a dot format. So that's that. So let's see if we could do that. So I just moved the halftone pattern down below the graphic pen pattern. So now we got this effect here. So now we could click OK. So now we got this pattern overlay that we could save. Now all you have to do is go up to Edit and then Define Pattern. And you can name this pattern anything that you want. So I'm going to call it front pattern. And I'm just going to put the number 2 after it because I already have a pattern called front pattern. So I'm going to click OK. So there we have it. Now we created a pattern overlay. Now let's close out of this. We don't need to save it. We're going to create a new document. Okay. Now we're going to fill this layer. So we're going to do a solid color adjustment layer, and we're going to select the hex code of A256-3 and B as in boy. I'm going to select OK. Okay, now we get to select like a pattern overlay, which is not the overlay that we just created. But anyways, we're going to add a pattern overlay. Let's do this. We're going to, let's see, linked, snap to, let's do this. And we're going to select the dot pattern right here. Just a second. Yep, dots. Scale. Okay. Now with that, now we're going to select the blend mode of multiply. And there we have it. Now let's add our text. So we're going to come over here, add the text. And let's drop down the size a bit here. And I'm just going to type in pattern. Let's hit the check mark. Let's use the move tool. And then Control T to enter transform mode. And then Shift Alt. And then click and drag to make it bigger. Let's press Enter now to apply those changes. And now let's add some effects to this. So we're going to create a stroke on here. Let's add the stroke. And we're going to select a size of 3. It's going to be on the inside. And then the blend mode is going to be normal. And the color is going to be F as in Frank, B as in boy, E as in Edward, and 8, D as in David, 2. Now you won't be able to see this, but you'll be able to see it in a second what that stroke color is. So now we're going to add a inner shadow. With the inner shadow, we're going to select linear burn. The color is going to be 515151. It's like a gray color. Let's drop down the opacity to about 50%. See, let's do this again. 5151. Oh, nope. I don't want that. Let's do this. 515151. Click OK. Drop down the opacity to about 50%. Okay, the angle is going to stay at 90, and these numbers will be, the distance will be 6. Choke will be at 50, and the size will be at 5. So, and now the last thing is we're going to add the pattern overlay that we created in the beginning. So let's go up here. %, basically. Let's scroll down, and here's our pattern. So this one should be the front pattern too. And the scale, let's see, we selected that. Scale should be down to about 50%. And let's change this to normal. So we have a blend mode of normal. The opacity is about 95%. We selected our pattern that we created in the beginning. The scale is at 50%. If we increase this, you can see what happens to the pattern by increasing it. The dots are basically become larger. So that's all going to be dependent on what effect that you want. Let's bring it back down to 50, and let's click OK. So that's how we create this grungy retro pattern text effect. But let's add something. Nope, I think that's about it. And we got what we need. So that's how we can create this, again, this grungy retro pattern text effect. So we learned how to create this, define a pattern and save it for later use. We also learned how to apply a pattern overlay to your background. We created a stroke. We created these other effects like inner shadow and all that. So hopefully I gave you some new tools to work with. I appreciate your time and stopping by the channel. Come back often because I upload multiple videos per week on not only Photoshop but CSS and HTML and other tools that I use for my web development business. So thanks again for your support. Remember to subscribe to my channel and click on that bell notification so you always get updated when a new video is ready. And please like, share, and comment. Thanks again. I'll see you on the next video. Bye now.